You just saw it on the screen. The Dodgers have a 3-0 series advantage in the NLCS over the Brewers. That feels pretty good. These Dodgers are striding at the best time. We're going to talk about it and the potential to sweep the series here on this edition of All Dodgers.
You muted yourself.
I know what happened. I was testing some things for my at Dodger Stadium rig today, and I didn't want to hear myself. But anyways, coming at you live from my home studio from beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers Podcast. Man, you already heard Jeff. You hear Kevin on there. We're talking about this Dodger game today, guys. All Dodgers is presented by FanDuel, part of the Bleav Network podcast. And again, the Dodgers have a 3-0 series advantage over the Brewers, the team that had the most wins in the National League this year. I think they had the most wins in baseball, question mark.
They did.
Yeah. I don't know who that team was because this ain't it. Jeff, we were at the game. Kevin was not because his kitchen is in Chicago.
Invited.
Was not invited.
It's 2,000 miles away. If the Dodgers wanted to, they could bring my kitchen to Dodger Stadium. All right, they could do that. They could.
No, listen, they have nicer kitchens at Dodger Stadium, but hell of a ball game, boys. I was talking to one of my buddies there because, as Jeff and I were talking about before going live, it was a bit of a family reunion. A lot of friends. I haven't been to Dodger Stadium this year, especially as media, because I don't like doing media things. I like being able to kind of sort of talk freely. Not to say I can't by doing media things, but the overall pulse is that was a very good baseball game. If you like good baseball games, you had a little bit of a pitcher's duel with the Miz shoving, Tyler Glasnow looking pretty good, the bullpen just enough offense. Everything seems to be sort of clicking right now for the Dodgers in this series. Disregard that 404-foot double play in Game 1. Jeff, what'd you like about today?
I liked how the Dodgers scored more points than the Brewers. No, it was just a very fun baseball game. Like it had all the tension you would want. We saw some really good pitching. We saw just enough offense, and we saw, Shohei Ohtani didn't have a great game, but he did have one big hit. Mookie Betts didn't have a great game, but he had one big hit. Dodgers only had 5 hits, but it was 5 different players, and 4 of them directly led to runs. And so it was very efficient offense, if not dominant offense. And when you have Jacob Misiorowski and shadows on the mound, like there's not going to be a lot of offense. And so the fact that the Dodgers were able to battle and win this game, it really felt like a game where it just seemed like a matter of time. Like, okay, the Dodgers are going to score. It's just, get Misiorowski out of the game. Turns out they end up scoring, without getting him out of the game. They scored after he came out of the game, right? No, Edmonds' hit was off Misiorowski. So, yeah,
yes,
they
one run was one run was on Misiorowski, and then the other one was the throwaway ball from Abner Uribe, which I guess does not count. It shouldn't count as a run batted in, or sorry, it shouldn't count against.
It's not an earned run.
Yeah, it's not an earned run. That's what I was going for.
But yeah, it was kind of wild that Uribe gets the huge strikeout on Teo for the second out, and then just says, "Hey, here's the run anyway. Pretend you got a sac fly, Teo."
I was talking to a dude up there in the auxiliary press box. I think he covers the Brewers, and he was like, "Why the hell are you even throwing to first? You got there's 2 outs. I think there was 2 strikes at the moment. Why would you try to pick him off?" But listen, we'll talk more about the defense on both sides of the baseball. Actually, I want to talk about one part of the defense right now with Kevin here because Jeff was just saying, not necessarily scoring a lot of runs, but run prevention is just as important. And there was an incredibly, I'm going to call it a gritty play. This one's about Max Muncy. The Max Muncy gritty play. We'll talk more about Muncy in a second. But the Marcus Lynn Betts doing the jump throw play to kind of help Roki out there in that 9th inning. All right, that was sexy. Even from my vantage point, that was sexy. Your guy, your shortstop.
Oh, my goodness. Was that hot? Oh, my goodness. Deep in the hole. And still manages to jump throw. We know, if you look at him last year, the problem was the throw. He was just airmailing even 6'5" Freddie Freeman. He was airmailing the throw. That he lays down a perfect throw in the air after if he like ranges to a ball that he like even last year might not get to. And he just snags it, chucks it to first, and it is a perfect throw. Freddie we've talked about a lot, is really good at picking the ball. Didn't have to do a whole lot. Just sat there and just, did what he does in general. And it was a beautiful play. And it absolutely made that outing so much easier for Roki Sasaki because, like every out is precious, of course. But when you're talking about somebody whose last outing didn't end well, that's the difference between a guy on first with a little bit of speed and nobody on base, and he could just attack. And it was awesome. And the showmanship from Mookie afterwards, yes, sir. Give that to me all day because he wants to contribute. The guy, all he wants to do is help this team win. If it's at the plate or it seems at this point, honestly, defensively, he seems to have more fun just throwing dudes out, making crazy defensive plays. That was a ton of fun to see from Marcus Lindbetz. I got Mookie's jersey on right now because he's just the dog.
But he never played for the Cubs.
Never. No, he didn't. It's weird. This one says Dodgers. But I tweeted it out before. My goodness, I am so happy Mookie Betts plays for the Dodgers.
It's I guess I was technically part of a scrum he had with reporters asking him about his thoughts about being a Gold Glove finalist, and his thing was, I think you guys care about it more than I do, but that's a load of BS. You know how much that dude really cares about it. Dave said that in the pregame presser as well. It would mean a lot for him to win a Gold Glove award. Of course, those votes are already in. Chances are, if that play happens on the final game of the season, the regular season, everybody's going and hitting that checkbox for Mookie Betts. But Jeff, you've said a few times, and I have probably said more than you have now so far this postseason, the Dodgers are the only team that could beat the Dodgers. The only people that could beat the Dodgers are the Dodgers. But we're also seeing other teams beat themselves. Matty Man 5 Dodge had this earlier. Same thing that got kind of Kierkering. Maybe not the same play, of course, but the same idea. Got to Uribe there. Are these Dodgers just too much for these other teams?
It might be. There's that pressure. The fact that this is Uribe's third time pitching against the Dodgers in this series, and they've gotten to him all three times. It was just a bad idea to throw it in the first place, and then compound the bad idea by making a bad throw. It's kind of funny because ultimately, mathematically speaking, that play was inconsequential. The Dodgers won 3-1. That was the third run. That run didn't matter, except that it really, really mattered because, especially with this Dodgers bullpen, there is a huge difference between a 1-run lead and a 2-run lead. And so that play, who knows what would have happened if the Dodgers don't get that third run in that spot. I know none of us would have felt as comfortable in those last couple innings because it was, at that point, that was the bottom of the sixth inning, right? Mm-hmm. And so we still had 9 more outs to get from the bullpen. And in hindsight, the Brewers got 1 base runner in those 9 outs. But even that 1 base runner was a double. And so it's like a leadoff double, if I remember right. I don't remember. I know.
Yes. It might have been a triple, honestly. But
no, the triple was leadoff. Same guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Same guy, but leadoff double. And so imagine if it's 2-1 there. And Vesia gives up that leadoff double. How stressful that inning. It was stressful enough as it was with a 2-run lead, but just a huge play. And, Uribe is, I just heard of him last year. Is he young? Kevin, you like to look things up.
Abner is very, he's new. I Bleav they wanted him. They traded for him. Is that what I remember? Hold on.
Either way, he looks like a very.
He's 25 years old.
Okay, yeah. So he's young. He's inexperienced in these situations, and maybe the pressure got to him. I understand. Once you get Teoscar out, it does increase the chances. But I didn't think they were going to send Edman anyway, because it's like, well, we need that runner on third. And so it wasn't likely that Edman was going to be trying to steal there. And so, yeah, just a poor decision. And, maybe it is something about the Orion Kerkering issue. Happy to see it, though. It definitely made me feel better.
Yeah, I mean, again, these Dodgers are they got that target on their back. All these teams drive nice cars. All these players drive nice cars. But when teams go to match up against the Dodgers, it is their World Series, and sometimes in the World Series you see people kind of not use their best good baseball brains, as it says somewhere in the Bible, and we've seen two so far this postseason.
Was baseball invented?
Yes. By the way, if you guys are looking at NLCS odds with our friends over at FanDuel, I think you're going to like him. Dodgers minus 5,000 favorites now to win the series. Shocking with the, as it says on the screen there, three zip series lead. Brewers plus 2,600. So, hey,
has anybody in baseball come back from 3-0? I know basketball it's happened a couple times.
2004
baseball, it was
famously Dave Roberts Red Sox, as they were known.
Was that a 3-0? I thought it was a 3-1.
Yeah,
okay.
No, it was a 3-0. Dodgers 2020 against.
You're saying that Dave did something?
Was it 3-1? It was
3-1.
3-1.
Not a manager.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing he's most famous for. I've talked to him about it. He was like, yeah, this is a pretty cool play. Anyways, hey, let's move on. I want to talk really about the story of the game. It's not so much that Uribe play. It's the bullpen to me. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, Tyler Glasnow had a good game. We will talk about Tyler Glasnow later in this game. We will talk more about the offense and the defense for the Dodgers. But I want to talk about this bullpen because, gentlemen, we entered this postseason with a massive amount of concerns about this Dodgers bullpen for justifiable reasons. And then all of a sudden we have the late appearance of Roki Sasaki, who somehow stabilized everybody here in October. But considering where our heads were at heading into this postseason, absolutely electric stuff tonight. 3 1/3 scoreless innings from all of the big players, plus my boy, the real AB, Anthony Bonda. Jeff, you were there. You saw that. You saw the stadium get behind every one of these pitches. That was electric. But the performance from that bullpen. Yeah.
Having heard Dave Roberts say, like, he listed three relievers who he trusted, basically. And it's not to say that he doesn't trust any of the others, but when you've got a trust tree that's only 3 people long, and Glasnow had to come out in the 6th inning, it's like, okay, we either somebody has to take down multiple innings or some 4th guy is going to have to step up. And so I thought, okay, maybe they're just going Vesia for multiple, because he did get the quick strikeout coming in to relieve Trinan, and he did come back out for the 7th, and then unfortunately did allow that leadoff double, and eventually they're like, okay, well, we can't leave him in, so they went to Trinan. I thought, are they going to try Trinan for an up down? They didn't. They went to Anthony Bonda. And I was telling my brother on the drive back to my parents' house tonight, for a game in which the Dodgers bullpen had to get 10 outs, there was remarkably little drama or tension in this game. Like, it was a close game, but the bullpen didn't make us want to pull our hair out. I guess the closest to Vesia giving up the leadoff double and Roki going 2-0 on the first batter he faced. It's like, okay, which Roki are we getting? But then Roki settles right in. Like, other than that, so we were nervous for a total of
nasty.
Like 3 minutes in that game,
What's funny is if the bullpen didn't have that remarkably little bit of drama, you see over there in Kevin's, like the left side of Kevin there, there's kind of, well, usually there's a dog bed over there. I think I could just see Kevin right now curled up over in the corner sucking his thumb, because he really struggles with the postseason and all of that kind of stuff. But remarkably little drama. Even Vesia coming in, I loved Vess in that spot. And of course, as you gentlemen know, I really like Blake Trinan with other people's runners on the bases. Kevin, what'd you like about this bullpen outing, and maybe a little more focus on the closer earning his 3rd save tonight, Roki Sasaki?
What I liked about the bullpen was they didn't give up any runs. That was great.
Good answer.
That's
Good
phenomenal.
answer.
Like hot take, they didn't give up any runs. What I did think was interesting was Dave went to Vesia first and then Bonda later. I thought if you're just trying to get one lefty out, maybe you go to Bonda and then throw Vesia
You got to
later.
stomp out any chance of them scoring right there. Vess is the guy.
But Bonda's going to have to face a right-hander regardless. So if you're trusting anybody, if you're trusting a left-handed reliever against a right-handed batter, I thought Dave would have trusted Vesia in that situation. So that's an interesting wrinkle for me that, Vesia went for 1 and then Bonda ended up going for the 3 full. Roki, yeah, like Jeff said, it was sketchy at first. He didn't seem to know where the ball was going because I remember when he threw the first ball, it was inside to a right-handed batter. I was like, oh, that's inside, but at least it's 100. And so you're like, okay, so maybe his velocity's back. And then he starts dotting the fastball, at the last out. I mean, that splitter was nasty. He lands it for a strike, lands it like that's teach tape. Hey, if he takes the breaking ball like on the corner, throw the breaking ball a little bit off the corner and he'll swing at it. And that's what he did. And it was teach tape for Vesia. Again, Dave pulled the right levers because again, I would have probably thrown Bonda against the one lefty if they needed it. Dave was like, no, let's do Vesia and we'll do Bonda for 3, which was interesting. Maybe he was hiding him this whole postseason. I don't know. It hadn't seemed like he was really trusting Bonda in high leverage situations.
He was off of the wild card series roster.
Yeah, it was weird to see like Bonda go from like off the wild card series in low leverage to like, oh yeah, we need you to like get 3 outs. That was weird to me, but he did it. Dave trusted him. And like I texted you guys, Trinan sweeper, it was sweeping. That sweeper was sweeping.
It's hard to see the sweep from the angle I had. I'm sure Jeff had better eyes on it for sure. I just popped the comment up there from Eddie Man 5 Dodge about Bonda in the equation because hey, he was an important piece of this bullpen last year. Arguably one of the top dogs, if you will. It's really good to see him. Figuring it out and not necessarily needing to be the weapon, but being another weapon that is also has not been overexposed to any teams really this postseason. So there are chats, there are super chats. I do want to talk about a number of things here coming off of this. Jeff, you were there. You saw the last thing on the bullpen with Roki. The crowd was really getting behind him, cheering Roki. It seemed like he airmailed one from there. Maybe people need to keep it calm, cool, collected a little bit. I don't know. Just got a little amped.
Yeah, he was fired up, but you know what? In that situation, I didn't mind that one. Just airmail a little bit. Part of the benefit of having crazy good stuff is having people be a little bit afraid to face you. And if you occasionally throw into the backstop, that helps with that approach anyway. Roki looked good tonight. And, like I said, after those first 2 pitches, really, he settled in. He was dropping the splitter for strikes at times, getting swing and miss in the zone, swing and miss out of the zone. It was just, it was a really good outing for everybody. All 4 relief pitchers just looked really, really good.
You think of a couple of names in somewhat recent vintage that fit that mold of being frightening, imposing figures, especially sometimes maybe not always knowing where the baseball is going or intentionally not knowing where the baseball was going. One guy in the stadium tonight, Pedro Martinez, the other guy, Randy Johnson, a lot of people might think of there. So there was a Brewers injury. OG Martinez earlier in the chat asking us, that was some booing for Jackson Chourio. I didn't like that if it was because it felt like
wait, there was booing for Jackson Chourio?
I heard a little bit of booing. I didn't read it as booing Jackson Chourio. Well, I read it as just kind of
play baseball.
The same way that like when people boo a pickoff throw, they're not booing the pitcher. They're booing the fact that I'm ready to see a pitch thrown and the pitch isn't being thrown right now. It's Dodger Stadium fills up, and a
Even
lot
at
of
3
that,
p.m. Even at 3 p.m.
and not everybody who goes to a baseball game is a diehard baseball fan. And so I think it was, people definitely not recognizing that Churio has this pre-existing injury, that it's probably an aggravation of, and maybe even not realizing that Jackson Churio is kind of the Brewers' best player. And so it's like, if you look at it just, it's 0-2. Oh, and now you want to bring in a different hitter, huh? If you don't know the situation, you could see it as, this is gamesmanship. They're just using an injury as an excuse to get a different player, when realistically, everybody who follows baseball knows you're not going to take Jackson Churio out of the batter's box unless you absolutely have to. But yeah, I don't think there was a lot of booing, and what it seemed like casual fan booing and not anybody happy about his injury or anything.
Yeah, I got two things. One, Blake Perkins would not want to be put up in that situation down 0-2. And the second thing is, I was saying Boo Earns. You knew I was not going to walk away from a Simpsons reference. Going from Blake Perkins to Blake Paxton in the chat. What does Clint think about the Glasnow outing? I think he did his job. How did I say it on Dodgers territory? I think I said battled without his best stuff when he was on. Absolutely, the stuff looked nasty, but it wasn't his absolute best stuff. And as much as I couldn't see from my vantage point, I understand maybe not the best strike zone in the world, but to put up an outing, a performance like that after what we've seen from the rest of his starting rotation mates with Blake Snell and the other guy, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Yeah, I was impressed with him doing more than enough to keep his team in a baseball game here, and eventually go up 3-0. Jeff, what was your vantage point of
Isn't
TG?
it awesome? Isn't it awesome that 5 2/3 innings, 1 run allowed is the bad performance from the Dodgers?
Absolutely.
Good job, Tyler. And
it's
somebody
like fanning yourself with money. Oh, there's people
last night we were
here.
talking about, what's Tyler Glasnow? How much pressure is he facing after those first 2 performances? And I said he doesn't care. Those games are over. His job is to go out there, give Dodgers a chance to win tonight, and that's what he did. And he was very upset when he allowed that base runner and saw Dave Roberts coming to get him. He did not want to come out of that game, but he was at 99 pitches. It was the right move. It was, or at least not the wrong move. And Alex Vesia made quick work of whoever it was that was coming up, whichever generic lefty the Brewers had coming up. Sorry, I didn't mean to say generic Brewers fan who argues with me. It all worked out, but Tyler Glasnow absolutely did his job, and is now going to be well rested, whether it's Game 7 of the series,
or Game 7 if it gets to that point,
or Game 3 of the World Series. Either way, Tyler Glasnow is going to be ready to come out and do it again, and he looked good.
Yeah, and that's what I tweeted out. It was like, okay, how far does Dave push him? Because there's a realistic chance, should they win or should they sweep, Tyler Glasnow's not going to pitch for over a week. So does he go to the 100th century mark, or does he go further beyond that? He obviously opts to go at 99 pitches, which, for what it's worth, he did miss 3 fastballs glove side. He was obviously yanking at that point. It was the right call, I believe. To Glasnow's, credit, the umpire wasn't necessarily favorable, at least according to a lot of people's eye from the television broadcast. Maybe StatCast has something different. I haven't looked at it necessarily, but he was getting squeezed at the bottom of the zone.
That's what I had heard.
A lot of dotted fastballs, a lot of some curveballs, especially to right-handed hitters, it felt like, where he was trying to throw that curveball to the outside corner, and it would catch it, at least from what it looked like, and it would get called a ball. So it might not have been his most efficient, but I don't know if it's necessarily his fault. So it looked like he was trying to do his best. It just didn't go his way. But even still, again, the NLCS, like we're chasing the pennant. He goes 5 2/3, gives up 1 earned run.
One
Like
run,
you
3
can't
hits. Yeah.
like any year you cannot ask for more than that.
You
It's
just you
this
take
year
that.
of-
Yeah, you take that either way.
It's just this year Snell and Yamamoto have done a little better.
Yeah, it's funny. So back to Blake trying to attack me here, even though he's not really asking or attacking me. Of course, I'm just creating a narrative here. But yeah, what did I think about his outing? I think he is, once again, I'll say he has ace level stuff. He is not the ace of this team. He is the ace of plenty of other teams, and he put up an ace enough performance today. And both of his postseason outings, definitely getting more quiet, but I'm going to continue. I'm getting more quiet, but I'm going to continue to challenge him to do better. That's I've taken this upon myself. That is my role in life, to make a man that doesn't know me.
Glasnow better.
Yes. I am here to challenge him to be best. So one of these days I can have him on Dodgers territory and I could make fun of myself when talking to him about how good he was in the postseason and all that kind of stuff. Before we get to more chats, more conversation, I do want to tell folks here in the chat about Delete Me. So I'm going to do that right now with a couple of clicks of a button. I'm going to tell you that Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Data brokers, they make a profit off of your data. Your data is a commodity. Anyone on the web can buy your private details. This can lead to identity theft, phishing attempts, harassment, but now you can protect your privacy with Delete Me. I've talked about it. I'm going to keep talking about it again. If you have either been the victim of or know somebody who has been the victim of identity theft, it sucks. It is a pain in the behind to get your information back and out of the evildoers' hands. And people don't really want to help you figure it out. So why even give them the opportunity to get your data when Delete Me can help take control of your data? Keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discounted rate for our listeners, 20% off. You get that if you go to joindeleteme.com/hit. That is HIT. Use that promo code HIT at checkout. The only way you can save 20% off is, or get 20% off, or however you want to say it, is to go to joindeleteme.com/hit, HIT. Use that promo code at checkout and you can save. Again, finally, that is joindeleteme.com. I'm doing the thing with the hand again, /hit, code HIT, and save. Let's get to a couple of the super chats that we got going on in here. Matt De La Rosa, what's going on, Matt? Appreciate Matt. He's a good dude, very helpful dude, very good at what he does on the internet, except for the part where he sent us a super chat and didn't put anything in it. But don't worry, he followed up with another $10 super chat. Thank you very much, and adding context to us talking about the 3-0. 3-0 comebacks, particularly in 2004, that team, that Red Sox team, was a very, very good baseball team. They had players with playoff pedigree. That is not the case with the Brewers, at least this version of the Brewers team that we're seeing the Dodgers play, and that is why I laugh hysterically at the idea of a Game 7.
Yeah, and that's honestly like last year in the World Series when the Dodgers went up 3-0, and then the Yankees won Game 4. And people got a little bit nervous just because you could look at how the rest of that series might, especially when the Dodgers went down 5-0 in Game 5, and you're like, crap, if the Dodgers lose this game, then it's 3-2, and then that you looked at the pitching matchups and everything with the Dodgers being so bullpen heavy. It was easy to see a path for the Yankees to potentially win that series.
Yeah,
obviously it didn't happen, and that's good, but you could see a path. Here, I just don't see a path because at this point, the Brewers have to beat Shohei Ohtani and then Blake Snell and then Yoshinobu Yamamoto and then Tyler Glasnow.
Yeah.
And remember,
in order.
Remember the MLB power rankings of the pitchers in the postseason?
Yep.
All 4 of those guys are better than any pitcher the Brewers have. And, oh, by the way, they have Jose Quintana going tomorrow.
There's season on the line.
Yeah. And so...
And they burnt all of Mizorowski today. There's no way he's coming out tomorrow.
There just is no path for the Brewers to win this series.
No.
Now, they could win a game. They could win tomorrow's game. Any one game, it can happen.
Yep.
They cannot win 4 games in this series. It's just not going to happen.
No.
And I guess the one bright side, if they were to win Game 4 tomorrow, would be that then Blake Snell and Yoshinobu Yamamoto get to battle to see who gets NLCS MVP because, Blake Snell.
Right now,
if
how do
Blake
you
Snell shoves again, then he gets it. And if he doesn't, then Yamamoto can say, "Oh, I'll take that," But
can't give it to a pitcher right now, right?
Realistically, it's going to be hard to see the Brewers winning 1 game in this series.
Now, on that point, by the way, our buddy Kevin Uhas had the $35 super chat. Thank you, Kevin. What a guy. Our favorite Kevin in the world.
My favorite Kevin.
Who is, it's only 3 games in, but who is our NLCS MVP with all the added rest from the starters? Are we seeing actual potential for our dog bullpen? I want to focus on the NLCS MVP. Jeff, do you think we could see a co-MVP with Snell and Yamamoto?
Right now, that would be my vote. And I don't know if, I know in 81 they had three MVPs sharing the World Series MVP, but I think the voting is different now. I don't think they can just sit down and say, hey, both of these guys really deserve it. Let's give it to both of them. They actually voting in points and stuff. And so, I don't know if that's likely. But you kind of have to say, okay, which performance was better, Snell or Yamamoto? Because the fact is, nobody on the offensive side has really done enough to earn it at this point. You've had big hits from several different guys. And Roki Sasaki, who we said would have been the NLDS MVP if there was such an award, he's only pitched twice and one of them was bad. And so he's getting it, and so it's not going to relief pitcher. And obviously all this could change. If Shohei Ohtani hits 4 home runs tomorrow and throws a shutout, it's him, If Muncy has a big day tomorrow, throw in the defense. How crazy is it that Max Muncy has made a bigger impact with his defense than with his bat so far this postseason? But that play today in the second inning was huge. And so Muncy, with a big offensive day tomorrow, Muncy could steal this thing. Tommy Edman had the game-winning hit today. Another big day for him tomorrow. He could get his second straight NLCS MVP. It could be a lot of different people, but right now, it's got to be either Snell or Yamamoto or hopefully both.
Apparently this is a night of really bad these are exceptional 90s television references because we had the Boo Earns, which, by the way, Seth Client sent a $2 super chat saying that he loved that Simpsons reference. But I was going to say, for this MVP, we go to, let me push the button for that. We go to Wayne Knights Newman on Seinfeld, and we ask him, who do we give this award to? And he says, we split the award down the middle, and we give half to each. But that might be a participation.
That's a Bible reference. I think that's King Solomon, doesn't he? Yeah. Man,
Clint only knows made-up biblical references.
Yeah, teacher would be so proud of me right now. I knew that one on the dime. Oh,
Clint doesn't know what's actually in the Bible. He just knows what he wishes was in the Bible.
Yeah. What's that one chapter where they're like, "Hell yeah, brother."
All of them?
That's one of my favorite.
All of them. It sounds like numbers. That sounds like numbers.
No, the other one was Newman. So enough pussyfooting around here. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you've liked any of this, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you've disliked any of it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. That way we learn.
We do both. We bat for both teams.
No.
I bat for both teams.
No. Yeah, we saw you, Cubs fan. We talked around it a whole bunch, and we don't need to dive too much into this, but just enough offense today. 8 total base runners, I think, 5 hits, 3 walks earned by the Dodgers. Mizorowski absolutely shoved, should have started the game, and I'm pretty sure he feels the same way. But
I'll go the other way. Oh. Maybe they should have saved him for later because using Mizorowski when you also had the shadows, it's like double whammy. They should have used
#shadows.
Decent pitchers, living pitchers when they had the shadows helping them, and then use Mizorowski after that when the shadows are gone. So they just needed the dominance because, it seemed like they burned their Mizorowski a little bit too soon. Nobody's going to hit Mizorowski with those shadows. You saw that view of the umpire cam, that pitch coming, It's crazy. But, once the shadows were gone, they got to Mizorowski once he was at his highest pitch count in a month. And but I think maybe they used him a little bit too early.
It all felt like they used him wrong. Either
Yes.
he should have started or he should have closed. The fact that they had an opener for him and then
Or
he
maybe-
pitched the middle innings,
Or maybe pitched
was
in game
weird.
2. I mean, it would have been
but,
kind of short rest.
It all felt like bad management, which is, I think, what Dodger fans would like to believe Dave does, even though he doesn't. If anybody's complained about Dave Roberts, look at how Pat Murphy has managed this series, and then come back to me about how you think Dave Roberts has done the same. Because Dave has done a really good job in just putting his guys in good positions. Jacob Mizorowski should have obviously started this game or ended the dang game. It shouldn't have been this weird middle ground. The dude was nasty. Like, he was dotting his fastball. 102 at the knees. 102 on arm side, just like on the black, on the plate. And he was still landing his slider. And then he landed a couple curveballs. I was like, oh, he still throws that pitch? Nice. Good that the batters have to actually count for that.
Hey, Clint, can I point something out?
No.
Even more than the Dodgers being at minus 5,000 to win this series on FanDuel, you want to know what really tells me they've got this in the bag? Oso changed his prediction from Dodgers in 7 to Dodgers in 5. Woo! The most negative doomer in the entire world thinks Dodgers in 5.
That's huge.
Which might mean the series is already over. The Dodgers might have won it in 3 already if Oso thinks Dodgers in 5. But yeah, that's a big deal.
You know, I had that Dodgers in 3 joke earlier, and Alana just lost her crap at me. I was like, it's a joke. And she's like, it's not a good joke. And I was like, well, your face is dumb. That's not how the exchange went. You guys could see that on
Somebody needs to teach
Dodgers
her a sense of humor. Somebody needs to learn her a sense of humor.
She was crapping on me today. It was very mean and rude and mean. And,
right. OBJ,
she buys me one birthday present, and all of a sudden she could be mean to me. But anyways, that I digress on that regard. Speaking of digressing, a buddy who came to visit me in the auxiliary bullpen there was our friend Richie Flores, who has a lot of words here for $9.99. Thank you, Richie, saying the left side of the infield was worth the price of admission. Yeah, well, Brewers are outclassed. Clint calling Section 59 as the auxiliary press box is hilarious. It was a folding chair tied to the guardrail. No, it was random pieces of very poorly welded metal, like chicken wired to some rows of seats, and I'm pretty sure an active termite colony in 1/4-inch plywood. But I did have a nice drink rail, so that was nice. So shout out Dodgers. I didn't pay a damn thing for it.
But the left side of the infield did
face burnt.
show up.
I will tell you, my face is burnt.
Oh, it's because he's.
I was in the shade the whole game. It was kind of nice.
Yeah, how much did you pay for those tickets? Sorry. Well, I'll walk away.
So somebody paid a lot for those tickets.
Can we talk about Max Muncy's play at third base for like a hot
because
second?
Mario had this. I've been pocketing this one because I did want to talk about this. What I was getting to an hour ago when I started this whole dialogue was the Dodgers didn't have a lot of base runners. They capitalized where they could, but mitigating runs is almost as important as scoring them. And Mario saying, I used to get frustrated with Muncy's defense. Not anymore. We've been talking about this for a while. When Muncy's locked in, he has his moments where he kind of loses it. I keep talking about the spring glove he had in, I think, game 1 of this series, or maybe that was against the Phillies. I don't know. But Munt's captain out there today. He absolutely captain, and that was a huge play at the plate. Kevin.
Absolute laser he threw to home. Like, it seems that his arm is 100% it's valuable. Like he knows how to throw to first. You know, he learned that between himself and JT from all those years ago. That strike he threw home today, it was just it was a laser. The strike he threw back to third base on the wheel play. Like, he knows how to pick a ball and get it where it needs to go. That dude does not have throwing errors, and that was a huge play early in the game on an absolutely awkward hit. Like, he had to range to his left, spin, and fire a strike, and he did it perfectly. You know, this is a guy, like, not to quote Chris Collinsworth, but this is a guy who went from needing to find a home to playing first base, learning to play like Gold Glove caliber first base, to then saying like, hey guys, by the way, we're gonna sign Freddie Freeman, so you're gonna have to move
Don't
because
don't
he's
forget being an all-star second baseman somewhere in there too.
yeah, somewhere there too. And they're like, hey, yeah, you're like Freddie Freeman's gonna play first, so you're gonna find a completely different position, struggled at it for a bit, and then turns himself into a perfectly cromulent third baseman. Like, like from between the bat and the glove, there aren't many third basemen you would want at that position in baseball.
I was
Go ahead. No, you.
I was thinking about the play against the Phillies when Teoscar scored from third with the infield in, when Terry Turner charged the ball and couldn't make the perfect throw. And Realmuto had to reach to his right to catch the ball and then come back. And that was just enough for Teo to get his foot in. And what we saw from Muncy today, a much more difficult throw and much better. Just absolutely so much more going on and spinning and making a perfect throw to Smith. It was a thing. And like you said, the throw on the wheel play, a perfect throw when he's having to do like Muncy's only issue defensively is that he's kind of bad at the easy things sometimes. Yeah, it's like, routine grounder, easy throw to first. Okay, but like when they need a big play from him, the dude's stepping up.
Yeah, he's a vet. This is we've seen this dude kind of grow up from you mentioned, being the dude called off the couch to now being a bona fide Dodger legend, definitely a postseason legend, and to watch him improve everywhere he has been plugged in to play defense for this team. I talked to him during spring training at Camelback this year, obviously, because I'm not going to go elsewhere for that. And he had, they mentioned he had slimmed down a little bit. He had, didn't hear it from me, but he had cut back on the drinking after the postseason parade. That was my big thing for him. I was talking about, hey, you can hit, get the 40 dingers this year, which is like, that's the hope, but more so on the defensive side. It's like, did you lose the weight to play a little bit better defense or whatever? He's just like, I just wanted to feel better generally. But you're seeing same way Mookie took all season to become the guy he is, having another full season under Muncy's belt at third base. You're seeing a very, very good third baseman, even at his age. And this should stop the calls for Nolan Arenado this offseason. Please, for the love of God, everybody.
Somebody actually gave us a super chat about that. De La Rosa Matt, just $5 to support Kevin's comment. Where are all those Arenado lovers now? It's true. Also, even for me, it's going to quiet the Munetaka Murakami comments in this offseason. That's a guy that's coming over from Japan who is a power hitting left-handed third baseman, but he struggles very much defensively and has a strikeout rate that's a little alarming. Meanwhile, Max Muncy is making crazy plays like this, like in like the highest leverage. Like, you want to talk about like being a high leverage reliever, man, how about talking about throwing like a runner out at home with the
twice in the postseason
infield. Yeah.
Also twice in the postseason with the wheel play. Well, I guess that wasn't at home. That was the third. My bad.
It's as high leverage as an infielder can get. It's remarkable. Like, you cannot overstate how good Muncy has been defensively. Even if he's booted a ball or two, sure.
Yeah.
But he's always made up for it. That team option has never looked prettier.
Right, is it now. Only 10 mil? Oh, listen,
it's 10 mil.
Cash the check right now.
Just already say you're taking it up.
I would ask Jeff for further comment, but we've already talked a lot about Max Muncy. He's good. Don't let it get to your head, Max. All right. Hey, let's talk about tomorrow's game because they need to win that game to have the weekend off, and I would love for this team to have the weekend off. Shohei Ohtani gets the baseball for the Dodgers against TBD, and maybe Jose Quintana to start the game or as a bulk guy or whatever it is. I hope for the sake of the Brewers, they just throw him out as a starter and let him do his job, what he is very used to doing. Dodgers, as you would imagine, once again favored to win this baseball game, minus 196 with Shohei on the bump, plus 164 on the money line for the Milwaukee Brewers. Shout out to our friends over at FanDuel for those numbers. You see it there on the screen, Jeff. Keys to slamming the door. What are the keys for the Dodgers to slam the door tomorrow?
Dodgers just need to show up. Like, Quintana is not as good a pitcher as Jacob Mizraowski. There, I said it. Flame me if you will. I think Jacob Mizraowski is better than Quintana. The game will not be starting as early, and so the shadows won't be as much of a factor. The shadows should be gone after the first or second inning, I would guess. And so everything about tomorrow's game suggests the Dodgers should have a better offensive game than they did today. They don't need to score a ton of runs because Shohei Ohtani is a good pitcher. They have – I didn't look at pitch counts. I don't think anybody threw so many pitches today.
Everybody is fully available.
Yeah. So they've got all their guys. The Dodgers are the better team. And I said it before the series started. I know the Brewers won more games in the regular season, but when you look at health, state of the roster, all those things, the Dodgers are the better team than the Brewers. Yeah, you think the 6 games the Dodgers lost to the Brewers, if the Dodgers win 2 of those, Dodgers and Brewers end up with the same record this season. Well, I think if the Dodgers had this roster, they might have won 2 of those 6 games, you know?
What do you got? Can I interject really fast? Because I looked this up before we talked about this series, and there wasn't a good spot for this. When the Dodgers played the Brewers last, they were putting out an outfield of Estuary, Ruiz, and James out. It was not it's a far cry from the position players they're putting out there right now. So
it's pretty bad.
Shout out to Estuary Ruiz for getting us here. I guess
existing. He's a living player.
Soon to be World Series champion. All right, that one I won't get to. All right, that's too far.
That's what because they were talking about 0-6. It's like, have you guys looked at the Dodgers roster when they were 0-6 against the Brewers? It was
Jeff about to go out on a ledge right there?
No. I was going to change subjects a little bit. I saw in the chat that apparently Derek Jeter wasn't impressed with Mookie Betts' play tonight. I just want to point out that Mookie Betts at shortstop in his career has 182 more defensive runs saved than Derek Jeter had in his career at shortstop. And that's an actual number. 182 more defensive runs saved than Jeter.
Derek Jeter wasn't impressed. Derek Jeter, oh my God.
But he's a Hall of Famer. 3,000
Yeah,
hits.
it's not worth it. It ain't worth it. He ain't worth it, Mook. He ain't worth it.
To complete this thought, and then Jason sent us a couple of super chats. I want to make sure I get those in, but I thought they were perfect towards the end of the show here. So I apologize to Jason for gatekeeping your super chats. But Jeff, you had kind of mentioned, the bullpen is in an extremely good position. Javier saying earlier in the chat, tomorrow Shohei Sheehan combo to get the job done. Unused today, Sheehan, Kershaw, Wrobleski, Dreyer, and Kasparius. Vesia, Trinan, and Banda all threw 10 pitches or fewer. Roki only threw 13. Everybody is available.
Even before you get to the guys that threw today, you got to feel pretty good about a combination of Wrobleski, Kasparius, Dreyer. Even those 3, you got to feel decent. Jeff.
The only thing I'm kind of worried about is we haven't seen Wrobleski hasn't thrown in a while. Maybe that's kind of a thing, but
Kasparius is the only one that hasn't thrown.
Yeah, they're throwing to each other.
But when he's pitched in short spurts, he's been very good. So I don't know, the bullpen, good spot. Jeff, agree? Yes, no?
Yeah, I hope the offense shows up, and so the bullpen is a non-factor.
Yeah,
that's
fair. They're going to need to cover innings.
I want Clayton Kershaw standing on the mound when the Dodgers punch their ticket to the World Series, and in order for that to happen, I would like a comfortable lead.
That'd be sick. All right, that's what we got to vote for. 11 runs from the offense, and Shohei goes 7 innings with 1 earned. We'll give the Brewers 1.
11-run first inning. It's been a while since we've had one.
It's been a while. Well, 20 was that 20 or was that 19?
That was 20.
Or is it 21?
We don't want to talk about 19. But Jason earlier in the chat with 329,000 Indonesian rupees. Is that what it is again, Jeff?
No, rupiahs.
Rupiahs. Either way, Jason, we appreciate you there. He has more on the other side of that, but asking, this is getting ahead of ourselves, and we have more content to talk about this because the Dodgers are going to have a pretty long layoff before the World Series. Who do you guys prefer to meet?
Should they win?
Should they win? He prefers the Jays. The thing I think I don't like about the Jays is that they would be the home team. Not that that's really been an issue at all, But I don't know. I would rather Dodgers. Honestly, if they play the Mariners, they get home field advantage and they don't need to fly to the East Coast. That's my thought there. Jeff, thoughts on those two teams, or do you want to kind of address it more in future content?
Yeah, I mean, we'll address it more in future content too. I would rather have it be the Mariners. I'm glad that after the Blue Jays won tonight, that means that the ALCS is going at least 6 games.
Yep, that's right.
I hope it goes 7 either way, but I would prefer the Mariners, partly for the home field advantage, partly, I like the Mariners. If I had to choose an American League team, it would be the Mariners. When I always take like the worst case scenario and say, okay, picture losing to one of these teams in the World Series. And for me, losing to the Mariners would be less heartbreaking than losing to the Blue Jays. And so all those reasons put together, and I think the Blue Jays offense is a little bit scarier. Like, I know Cal Raleigh's really good. I think, the Blue Jays have a few guys, and we saw Dodgers went 5-1 against these two teams combined in the regular season. But as we know, that doesn't always mean that much. But yeah, I like the Dodgers' chances against the Mariners, and so give me 4 home games.
Jays also kind of really don't have pitching. Their ace is Kevin Gausman. Mariners have better pitching. He's
given
good,
the Dodgers,
but Gausman's like 3. Gausman could not crack this this regular season starting rotation for the Dodgers, let alone the postseason.
Very few pitchers could.
Yeah,
so
Emmett Sheehan. Just start Emmett Sheehan in that series, and Dave just throwing up the middle bird the whole way through.
I agree with Jeff. I think the Mariners would be the preference simply because the Jays have Vladdy and George Springer, who are both well known at this point postseason performers, and I would prefer to avoid those guys. I think the pitching is a wash. Both teams have like middling bullpens and 1, maybe 2 starters that you're worried about, but nothing crazy. But Cal Raleigh you can pitch around, Julio Rodriguez you can pitch around, but Vladdy and George Springer they seem to kind of be unstoppable right now.
And I think the Jays have Bo Bichette back.
Will they get him back?
Jorge Polanco's had a really nice postseason for Seattle.
He's on the Mariners, though.
That's what I said. That's what I said for Seattle. But more of that content coming up when the Dodgers have all of those days off before the World Series. We got a number of super chats popping in here. We appreciate people. I want to make sure I get Jason's other 159,000 ruples, whatever it is. Scrapples. Should the Dodgers give Paul Skeens a chance to play in the postseason by trading for him before the 2027 lockdown?
Yes.
Where do you even put Paul Skeens in the starting rotation?
Who cares? Just trade for him. If the Pirates put him up, you just trade for him.
I guess you would probably need to trade like an Emmett Sheehan type. To
no.
make that. Oh no. Dodgers lose the trade deadline.
Oh my God! If you told me that package included River Ryan, Emmett Sheehan, Kyle Hurt,
can we also trade James Outman again?
Who's another up and coming arm? There's a bunch of them. You can trade 3.
Jackson Ferris.
Oh, Jackson Ferris. That's the one. Jackson Ferris. You can trade 3 of those 3 guys plus a couple bats for Paul Skeens. Sign me up. Yeah, just all day. Yeah.
$1.99 from Dirty Don asking about our thoughts on American icon Blake Trinan. I love Blake Trinan. Jeff, quick thoughts on 49.
He's looked good, and I defended him after that Phillies game when he blew it or tried to blow it. He blew his appearance. He didn't blow the game, but he blew his shot at saving the game.
Almost blew game 1.
And I said he was bad in a different way tonight, and so I'm still optimistic about him. And what we're seeing is, yes, whatever mechanical fix they made has fixed the problem that he had for almost the entire regular season of I have no idea where the baseball's going.
Yeah.
Now he's still obviously got some stuff to work on, still getting back to elite dominant Trinan, but not walking everybody is a big deal.
Yeah, no, that's fair. What do you got?
I just want to shout out Joe Mama. JX3JO says, Kevin, calm down. We don't want Skeens. You're wrong. Everybody wants Skeens.
He's not because Joe, by definition, is part of we by making that statement. And so if he doesn't want Skeens, then he's correct in saying we don't want Skeens So hashtag English, baby.
Every baseball team wants Paul Skeens.
It's the royal we.
If you don't, you're not watching the correct sport. I don't know what to tell you.
And we will wrap today's show with a couple of super chats. Of course, we are about 2 hours away from my birthday, my time. I got $20 here from my friend Joey Joseph. That is Jay Reyes in the chat there. Says $20 for the birthday boy. And my doggy. I haven't seen this guy since the last time I saw this guy. This is Albert right here. Happy birthday, brother. Really hope they get that win on your day, and then all of LA can celebrate with me tomorrow. OG YOLO. If you know, you know. Appreciate you, my dude. I was going to call him Boo Boo, but I don't know if we do that anymore. I haven't seen you since the last time I saw you. Appreciate the super chats there, guys. Appreciate the love. Appreciate a lot of people wishing me happy birthdays and all of that kind of stuff in the chat. It means a lot. Yes, tomorrow, the 17th of October, I am 40, and Eminem is Eminem is going to be 53. That's everybody's birthday I know on
No, I got another one.
Yeah, on that one. Whose birthday is on the 18th, Jeff?
October 18th. I don't.
My mom's?
My dead mom's. Is your mom's birthday actually on the 18th, Kevin?
It's the 19th. My mom's on the 19th.
You liar.
I know. God.
Oh, Dan. Wait, a couple of super chats, by the way.
I don't know if they meant to send it twice.
I will take it. I will push all the buttons twice, saying I hope you both enjoyed the game. Happy birthday, Clint. Thank you very much, Fatty D.
Hey, Clint, can you pop up that tweet that I just sent you in Slack? I think it's a good way to end this episode.
Give me
if you can pop that up on the screen.
Yes, I can. Of course I can. I'm a professional.
In the meantime, Joe Mama tripled down on not wanting Paul Skeens. Folks, he doesn't like good pitching.
Dookie Betts on Twitter says, nah, bro, that wasn't Abner Uribe's fault. That happened because of the two teams' salary difference. Oh.
That is pretty good. Listen, if you know, you know. The Dodgers are ruining baseball this postseason, and we wouldn't have it any other way. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Apparently... that's Patty D, I'm assuming, but that is Pat Dwyer. That is what his name looks like now with the broken YouTube thing. By the way, we talked about it yesterday.
I like Fatty D. That's awesome.
We didn't make people's names look like that. YouTube did. They rolled it out to our channel before other channels. So sorry, we can't do anything about it, unfortunately. But we will do our best to enjoy celebrating Dodgers sweep tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for hanging out with us here on this late night edition of All Dodgers on a Thursday after the Dodgers take a 3-0 series advantage in the NLCS over the Milwaukee Brewers. That's just fun to say. I'm going to keep on saying it. The gentleman to my screen right is Snydog, and one of them is a gentleman. That's Jeff Snyder. The other guy is Kevin Skinner. He is also here. Pause for effect. Give him a follow.
Second favorite Kevin.
At Skinner7 Kevin on the social media. If you guys want to keep talking Dodger baseball with us and all that, check out the Patreon that is currently kind of making me a bit of a pirate. I guess it's a patch, but scan that QR code or click the links in the YouTube description if you want to join us on Patreon or YouTube members. It's $5 a month to support independent Dodgers coverage here online, which you guys, so many people have already done it. Great here via super chats, but with that you also get access to our Discord server where we're talking about the game all day long, all off season long, yada yada. Shout out to FanDuel for being a presenting sponsor of the show. Shout out to Bleav Network for having us on their network. I don't know what we're doing content wise tomorrow, but just look for it. That's it. Baseball. Hit that like button.
I'll be back home, so we'll probably do something after the game.
Okay, perfect. Okay, bye.